Hi everybody, I'm Sheryl Kahn, and this is your West Palm Beach. Members of the LGBTQ+ community who've been struggling with substance abuse issues have an amazing place to turn to right here in our city. It's called Transpire Help, and it offers assistance without judgment. Karaoke day at Transpire Help. And this small room is packed with enthusiastic singers and their admirers. I might be feminine, but I'm not delicate. But the joy you see in these faces is only part of the story. Clients come here to deal with serious issues: drug and alcohol addiction, physical and emotional trauma, rejection, and even abuse because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. Michaela Ferreira, a recovering crystal meth addict who sought treatment at the center and now works here, says she's seen it all.
I was kicked out at a young age for being trans, and my family didn't really accept me, so I slept with men to find a place to live. The oldest, the one I stayed with longest, was 59 at the time when I was 16.
Sarah Needleman, a social work intern at the nonprofit, says while her family was always supportive, growing up in a small conservative Georgia town was far from easy.
And just to come here, not only just have complete acceptance for who I am and my life story, therapists and clinicians who are trained in talking about that kind of stuff.
A recovering alcoholic, Sarah's working on her master's and her own sobriety with plans to continue helping others.
Those are nice.
The center connects people with agencies that provide health care, including rehab, housing assistance, and help finding jobs.
I faxed a request yesterday that I was just about to follow up on.
They have a food and clothing bank and a media room with computers and books. But most of all, clients say, they provide compassion, empathy, and a place where they can simply be themselves while they continue doing the hard work of recovering from substance abuse.
Everything has come together now that I don't drink. I'm excited for the future, that's for sure.
Transpire Help offers that help to anyone who needs it. Hurricane season's here once again, and while we always hope for the best, we need to be ready for whatever comes our way. Here are some of the things we're doing to prepare. After a hurricane, tempers sometimes flare.
I got a boat in my driveway. You have a boat?
And city workers have to deal with some very frustrated residents.
I don't care.
Fortunately, this scenario was simulated, all part of an annual hurricane drill designed to give workers a taste of what they could be facing as hurricane season gets underway.
This is a little bit extreme. However, during Irma, for instance, we caught it Treemageddon, and we did have a lot of roads that were blocked by very big, large trees and a lot of debris.
The very first of the first responders on scenes like this one are often public works crews charged with clearing branches and debris from the streets so fire engines and ambulances can get through. They have to work fast, especially in a case like the one depicted here, with a car buried under branches and down power lines.
We got a tree that's on a vehicle. I'm going to take a further look to see if anyone is inside the vehicle.
So many things to think about, so much to do, and in a real-life situation, they'll often be working long hours in the rain or under the hot South Florida sun on very little sleep. That's one reason why getting in some practice before an actual emergency occurs is so important.
So if they do it wrong, it would be could be loss of life, loss of limbs. So it's very important and imperative that we share with them and show them why they need to do it right.
During this drill, supervisors kept an eye on what went well and what needs improvement, from the condition of the chainsaws they were using.
The chainsaws, we noticed that I think both blades were dull.
To the dealings with the city employees turned actors who were playing the part of irate residents.
There are going to be people that will come into an unsafe zone, immediately call PD.
The workers will continue practicing their skills and getting even more feedback from their supervisors. The Emergency Operations Center is always activated during hurricanes, and those who've been assigned to ride out the storm at the EOC have been participating in their own drills. Kids who love animals spent part of their summer break hanging out with dogs and cats in need of new homes. They went to camp at the Peggy Adams Animal Rescue League. Like many young people, these kids are spending part of their summer at camp. But this particular camp is a little different. It takes place at Peggy Adams Animal Rescue League, where campers get a chance to learn about and spend time with dozens of dogs and cats who are waiting to be adopted.
You could hear him purring through the glass.
They could have chosen to spend their summer somewhere else, but true animal lovers like these kids are drawn to a place like this.
I love hanging out with animals here.
And I just love animals so much.
During their time here, they meet staff members like veterinarians and vet techs and find out what it's like to pursue careers working with animals.
If they have something seriously medical wrong with them, like either they ingested something they shouldn't have ate, and we go ahead and, help them out.
They learn some techniques in class. In this case, how to wrap up cats to keep them warm after surgery, like the ones performed in-house.
We are making burritos here, so this is a cat. We have rolled them into a pee pad post-op after surgery.
They also prepare healthy treats for the dogs who are staying here before making the rounds to distribute them. Their time in the cat section has a slightly different vibe.
We have multiple cats in one location.
Kids are told to just hang out in the cat cafe and by the indoor-outdoor cat condos, to be patient and let those independent-minded cats make the first move. All the animals they meet and interact with need new homes. Their backstories differ, from being abandoned to owners experiencing financial difficulties, becoming ill, or even dying. And while the campers' families are under no obligation to do so, some of the kids are hoping to get permission to bring someone home with them.
So you think you might be able to convince your mom?
Oh yeah. My mom said as long as I keep it away from the dogs.
And teaching kids the value of adopting an animal from a shelter instead of a pet store is a very important lesson.
They're also just learning about basic animal care and how to take care of their own pets at home, and also, of course, why you should adopt a pet from a shelter instead of buying from a breeder or a pet store.
Peggy Adams Animal Rescue League is a nonprofit that operates solely on donations. If you'd like to adopt or foster a dog or cat, volunteer, take a class, get help for your own pet, or make a donation, visit peggyadams.org.
If you have a chance, stop by their campus. You may not leave empty-handed. Here in South Florida, preserving the Everglades is a top priority. So recently, Governor Ron DeSantis traveled to Cox Science Center and Aquarium to announce a huge new funding package for Everglades restoration.
With the Everglades exhibit at the Cox Science Center and Aquarium as a backdrop, Governor Ron DeSantis announced that he plans to approve more state funding to clean up the Everglades and improve South Florida's water quality.
That's going to be really, really meaningful.
The amount in question, $1.5 billion, which was included in the budget passed by the legislature for the fiscal year that begins July 1st.
This will mean from January of 2019 to the present, $6.5 billion that the state has invested in Everglades restoration and water quality improvements, and that's more than any period in the state of Florida's entire history.
The funding will support projects across South Florida, including $100 million to pay for the second phase of the C-51 reservoir in western Palm Beach County,
which will support the water needs of Palm Beach and Broward counties while also reducing freshwater discharges to the Lake Worth Lagoon, and that will improve the quality of water in this region.
The governor says while he may veto some line items in the budget, this one will make it through.